I believe that you will be astonished at seeing this letter on account of the slight certainty that could have existed as to me being alive. Since the Armada sailed from Lisbon for England, I have experienced great misfortunes, naked and shoeless, all the winter, passing more than 7 months among mountains and woods with savages, in those parts of Ireland where we were shipwrecked. More than 20 ships were lost in the Kingdom of Ireland. A great force of select infantry came, many captains, ensigns, commanders, and other war officials, besides several gentlemen and citizens of nobility, out of all of whom, being more than 200, not 5 survived, because some of them were drowned. And those who reached the shore by swimming were cut in pieces by the English. On September the 21st of 1588, a severe storm which arose upon the bow forced us to make for land with 3 of the largest ships, and to anchor more than half a league from the shore, where we remained for 4 days. On the 5th day there sprang up so great a storm on our beam, with a sea up to the heavens, so that the cables could not hold nor the sails serve us. And we were driven ashore, all the 3 ships, upon a beach, covered with very fine sand, shut in on both sides by great rocks. Most of the men and all the captains and officers were already drowned, when I attempted to save myself. I lashed onto a piece of the ship that had been broken off. When I tried to place myself upon it, it sank with me to a depth of 6 times my height below the surface, and I swallowed so much water that I was nearly drowned. A huge wave came, and a piece of timber crushed my leg. With great exertion, I righted myself upon my supporting timber. 4 waves came, one after the other, and, although I did not swim, where I emerged on the shore unable to stand, covered with blood and severely injured. I reached a mountain range and came upon a lake around which there were about 30 huts, all forsaken and unoccupied, and there I decided to spend the night. Not having where to go, I sought out the best hut to take shelter in for the night. On entering the door, I saw it was full of sheaves of oats, from which the bread that those savages eat is made, and I gave thanks to God that I was so well off as to have a place to sleep. But just then I saw 3 men emerge from one side, naked as when their mothers had brought them forth, and they stood up and stared at me. They gave me a fright, for I thought they were without doubt devils, and they understood no less that I might be so. Swathed in my ferns and matting, as I entered, they did not speak to me, because they were quaking, nor any more did I to them, not having observed them. The hut being somewhat dark, seeing myself in this great perplexity, I said, "O Mother of God, be with me, and deliver me from all evil." When they heard me speaking Spanish and calling upon the Mother of God, they also said, "Let the great lady be with us." Then I felt reassured, and went up to them, asking them if they were Spaniards. "Yes, we are, for our sins," they replied. I said to them, then, to be good of courage, and to commend themselves always to our Lord, that near to where we were there was a land of friends and Christians, and that I brought word of a village, which was 3 or 4 leagues distant, that belonged to Signor de Redique O'Rourke. I arrived at this house with great exertion, enveloped in a straw and swathed about the body with matting, in such a plight that no one could see me without being moved to great compassion. Some of the savages gave me old blanket, full of vermin, with which I covered myself. I dressed myself as best I could, and took to the road with the 4 other soldiers. I traveled by the mountains and desolate places, during much hardship, as God knows, and at the end of the 20 days' journey, I got to the place where Alonso de Levia and the Count de Paredes and Don Thomas de Granvella were lost, along with many others. I went to the huts of some of the native Irish savages, who told me of the great misfortunes of our people who were drowned at the place, and showed me many jewels and valuables of theirs, which distressed me greatly. My chief cause of misery was that I had no means of embarking for the kingdom of Scotland, until one day I heard of the territory of a savage whom they called Prince Oaken, where there were some vessels that were going to Scotland. Thither I travelled, crawling along, for I could scarcely move, but as it led to safety I did all that I could, and reached it quickly. The vessels had left 2 days before. I did not know what to do, as the soldiers who came with me had left, and gone to another port further on to seek a passage. Some women, when they saw me alone and ill, pitied me, and took me away to their little huts on the mountain. They kept me there for more than a month and a half in safety, and nursed me back to health. When I felt well enough, I went to O'Callaghan's village to speak with him, but he did not wish to hear or see me, for it was said he had given his word to the great governor of the Queen not to keep any Spaniards in his territory. The English who were quartered there had marched off to invade a territory and take it, and Oaken accompanied them with all his forces, so I could go openly about the village, which was composed thatched huts. In the village there were some very beautiful girls, with whom I became very friendly, and went into their homes occasionally for society and conversation. We bless God, who withdrew us from such perils and so many great hardships, and brought us to a land where there might be more succor.